Alright, hello everybody. Today we're making some Thai chicken larb. Larb is like a mincemeat salad, cooked in some chicken broth, ground chicken thigh that we minced up ourselves. We have some sliced onion. Also with that, which is not normally in larb, but we had some long bean, so we chopped it up and threw it in there, so we'll add that as well. We have some sawtooth coriander, just kind of like a wild cilantro, and that will go in when it's cooking. We have lime juice, fish sauce for seasoning, ground toasted chili powder, Thai chili powder. This is kaukua, which is toasted rice powder. It's made from raw sticky rice that's toasted in a pan and then ground up in a mortar and pestle. And this is a combination of cilantro and mint, which will both go into the cooking of the larb and will also be a garnish. So alright, so we can get started. Chicken stock heating up in the pan. I'm going to turn this up. Start the cooking process, and we're going to put and first of all, I lightly season the meat with some salt because it's a pretty salty dish, and just using fish sauce alone you can't get the right amount of saltiness and balance. The fish sauce would be too strong, so I add some salt. And our chicken stock's hot. I'm going to add in our ground chicken. Alright, we'll add all of it. Now this will roughly take 5 to 7 minutes to get this chicken meat just cooked. You want it just barely cooked through. You don't want to overcook it or else it'll be dry. So be careful of that. Alright, so now the chicken is just cooked through. See there, no pink. I'm going to turn the heat off. And now the next thing you want to check is how much liquid you have left. With the finished dish, you want some liquid, but not too much, so where it's like soup, but you want a little liquid on the bottom of the plate. So this is looking like a little bit too much, so I'm going to drain a little bit of it off. Alright, so just a little bit in the bottom. Just like that. Alright, so this is what it should look like. And now the heat is off. We don't use the heat to cook it anymore, because we don't want to overcook it, and that will make it tough. So the first thing we're going to add our onions and our long bean. So the onion can have time to wilt while the meat is still hot. I think this pan is a little too small, but we'll have to make do. Alright, so now that the onions and the long bean are in there, next we're going to season the larb. First thing we're going to add is the salt component, so that's fish sauce. There's no real exact way, you just kind of put it in until you feel like it's enough. I've done this a few times, so I have an idea of how much I need to put in. So I'm going to start with that, mix it up a little bit. Alright, next thing we're going to add is the lime juice. So lop is particularly, it's salty and it's sour. So I like to add a lot of lime juice because I like it pretty sour. So I'm adding, for this amount, I'm adding a little over about a lime and a half's worth of lime juice. Try that, mix it up a little bit. At this point, I'm going to taste it. See if the seasoning is correct. Yeah, that tastes pretty good. It's got the right amount of lime juice, about the right amount of saltiness. Now, believe it or not, that was a lot of fish sauce, it looked like, but I'm going to add just a tiny bit more. Okay, so our dish is mostly seasoned. Next thing we have to add are the ground chili, roasted and ground Thai chili. Now don't be, this is usually a pretty spicy dish, so I don't hold back. This dish will make you sweat. Next is the toasted sticky rice powder. Now this adds kind of like a nutty component to it. It's a pretty unique flavor. It's hard to describe, but we're going to add a good amount of that. Again, that looks like a lot. It'll absorb some of the liquid and maybe like puff up a little bit as it sits. That, and then we're going to add our herbs. We're going to add the sawtooth, coriander, cilantro, and mint. We're going to add a lot of this. I'm a big fan of using a lot of herbs in this dish because it's a very strongly flavored dish. The herbs kind of add a fresh balance to all of the saltiness, sourness, and all that ground meat. I'm going to grab another spoon to mix it better. Alright, now this is starting to look beautiful. Alright, so we're back with the finished dish. This is kind of a typical lop setup. And we have our sticky rice, which is mainly grabbed by the hand and scooped up with the lop. So I added some more herbs, and we also serve it with an assortment of things. Like here we have some lettuce, some baby eggplant, and some Thai basil. You can do cucumbers, you can add more lime, different lettuces, different herbs, doesn't matter, whatever you choose. So let's take a bite, all right? Grab some of the rice, form it with your hand. It's almost like a little eating utensil at the same time. I grab some of the lap. Be sure to grab some of the herbs, some of the dressing on the bottom. And here we go. Oh, delicious. In Thai they would say, "Aroy mak." Until next time, hope you try this out. I'll see you later, alright? Bye.